Previously on the other dungeon.
The Kefo tried to defeat some Vishkanyan children, but was bested, and they managed to escape, so the party found themselves in charge of capturing them, after several of the captain's items went missing, and ascertained the children must be hiding in the ship's vents, so they decided to try and smoke them out after tightening the ship's vents. And now, the other dungeon continues.
Can I proceed? Poop,
Perception
snake,
check or survival to look
or
for...
spiders.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
looking-
survival or perception to look for vermin poop.
Perception.
The only rats you've been able to see are the ones hanging up in the galley.
Try perception for cobwebs. Oh, it's a 12.
You don't see any. Pretty clean ship. These guys are always working. Apparently they wiped out all the cobwebs.
Well, I would like to use my survival skill to the area for it.
Sniff away.
11.
Can't seem to sniff out any vermin.
I look back at Arog and I'm like, my spell might not work. You might have to just kill more zombies.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, we've always got throwing zombies in the furnace.
I was like, or we can smoke them out with a delicious meal from the top.
They might be attracted to food as well.
They might be attracted to food. Do you want to wait for my wrench, or do you want to try to find your own wrench?
Peek around, I've already looked up here. Go around down there and see if you can find me a wrench.
I peek around for a wrench.
Peek around. Perception check.
27.
You don't see any extra tools that's lying around. There might be someone carrying a wrench, but you feel like it probably belongs to someone if you see a wrench anywhere.
Do I see someone else's wrench?
You definitely see other people carrying wrenches.
Well, I'm Manda, so I'm like, mate! I'm now Australian Mando! Give me your wrench!
Intimidation check.
It's a natural one, so we can just go with that.
They pointing like, you've already got a wrench, Mando, you big idiot.
Oh, I roll my eyes and also remember on Mando, and I tell them that this deck, it looks disgusting, and they need to use their wrenches to close up all these loose-ass vents. Motto.
Intimidation check to get them to close the vents on this floor.
I'm going to get them to close the vents on that floor, and I'll go up to the top. It's a 4, but I'm not trying to be I'm just telling my people what to do. Just throwing it out there.
They seem to think they have more important things to do right now besides tighten the vents for some reason.
I ask them what is more important right now.
Gotta swab the decks, or it's meal time, or I'm about to take a nap, or I just got out of the shower. They all have various excuses.
They can have 1 hour of extra nap time today if they do me this solid and close the fucking vent.
That's a diplomacy check.
8.
What?
Yeah, they don't seem too excited about doing this vent job. Apparently a lot of the vents are hard to reach and it's really hard work. They don't understand why they need to do this job.
I poke my head down from the top hatch, and I'll be like,
You intimidate.
hey, those fucking kids that got the first officer's suites are in those vents. And what do you think he's gonna do after he gets finished with us?
Intimidation check.
19.
Yeah, I get it.
A couple of them will go along with that. About a third of the men on your floor heard Arog say that will shrug and start tightening the vents they can get to. Start climbing things, trying to reach vents and tighten them. So on the middle deck, vents are being tightened.
I say thank you, and I hand my wrench to Arog.
Alright, you reach your hand up.
Oh,
Arog
I'll
takes
go
your
with
wrench.
him. I'll go with him.
Alright, so you guys are now both on the top deck.
Yeah.
Do I still have your wrench? I'll just go tighten them. While
Yeah.
you use your important stature to weasel somebody's wrench off.
Yeah.
I go to tighten vents up on the top deck. Except for one, we're gonna have to decide which one. But
Have you seen any?
what rooms are in the top deck?
The top deck, there's this control room that's everyone's in. That seems to be very important, very large room. And then there are 2 other rooms which appear to be captain's quarters and first mate's quarters, which you guys have not been inside.
Probably don't want to come up here. I would think they'd go to the middle deck.
Alright, well, let's go to the middle deck and leave one of the middle deck ones open.
That shit's too crazy up there. Everybody's
Let's
in
do
one
it.
deck.
As long as you didn't see anything, except they were on the top deck.
I didn't see shit.
Okay, we're gonna leave one of the ones open in the middle. I'm gonna tell Eriku that that's what we're doing right now.
Arog, you're going to tighten all the ones up top. 5 climb checks to get to the 5 vents that are up high in that area. The rest you can get to pretty easily and close. There are 5 that are up high.
I got an 18.
Good to go?
I got a 19.
Yes.
Good to go?
Oh shit, I got a 1.
That's okay.
Oh. That's going to be a fall. So we can do a reflex save on that one.
11, I think? Yeah.
You're going to take 5 damage from that fall.
I get up and dust myself up,
Yeah.
and I look around and nobody saw
And
it.
then to re-roll that climb, so you got 3 climbs left to be 3 successful climbs left.
24.
Good to go?
9.
You don't fall, but you're not all the way up there, so you want to re-roll that one to get the rest of the way up there.
Another 24.
Alright, good to go. Last one.
And a 20. Not natural.
Alright, so you're up there. You got all those. You're a strong enough guy. We can assume you were able to tighten those strong enough that no child could loosen them.
Down there.
So all the ones in the control area are now locked up, and all the ones in the middle deck are all locked up except one. Where would you guys like to leave that one open at? In the galley, in the eating area, in the bunks, or in the showers?
Seen them in the
Showers.
Showers are
Slippery.
secluded though. and slippery. You are right about that.
Danger to us and to them.
Fighting kids in the shower.
There'll be like less people there, or if there's a fight going on, it won't like disturb everyone's day.
That's what I'm thinking. Might want to pick a more
Because if we get fucked up by these kids, I don't want it to happen to the galley, my dude. Like, I don't want it. It's so embarrassing.
Let's get them in the shower.
Let's just get into the showers. Let's go confirm with Eriku.
There's probably still 2 vents in the captain and the first mate's rooms.
Well, there
If
is.
they
there's
bust
something.
out in there, they're fucked.
Yeah.
That's on them.
I thought about that too. I was
That'll
like,
automatically prove our identity.
that problem
Like,
solved itself. Or they
I
get
haven't closed any vents down here because they're all inside of the cages.
True.
I go and close the door to the cage and lock it that that was empty.
That's fine.
I secure all the locks.
I would like to make a general announcement to the Vishkanyans. Their day of liberation will come. I'm with Eriku as she closes the door. I tell her what's going on the upper deck so that she's caught up. And I tell the Vishkanyans that their day of liberation will come. And that I see the old people. I see any of the old people.
Yeah, I mean it's dark. If you get close to their cage, you can see them.
Okay, I tell them that their friend Kiram is tied up on the top deck. Oh wait, they're under a spell too. God damn it.
So, do I hear you say these things to the same people? Because I probably
Yeah, I think you do.
should not.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm gonna turn around and look at you and sigh because everyone around me is still under the ship spell. I don't know what to do.
And I say, what are you talking about?
I'm like, I think we should find a way for these Vishkanyans to help us capture. But they all think they're having like a happy, great time.
I'm probably gonna murder someone and throw them in the
Yeah, we're about to have to.
Okay.
A bunch of them.
So you're gonna chill down here, and if they pop through, axe murder, crazy barbarian, the smoke. That's what you're doing.
I don't really have to. So I can take a mental note of the cages that don't have like
Children in them.
children in them.
I mean,
Like,
none of them have children in them anymore,
Alright. Yeah, we've killed all the kids.
except for the 3 running loose. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back up
All right.
to air out.
All
We're
right,
just
okay.
waiting, or are we gonna try to?
No, we're gonna have to flush them out. I think we're gonna have to go downstairs, kill 2 more Vishkanyans,
And there's no
and
animal.
then kill them as zombies. Throw the zombie bodies. I think 2 will do it. Maybe 3 if we want to be safe.
I walk over to the guard and I'm like, may I have access to a Vishkanian to sacrifice them to the wonderful demon ship?
Guard looks at Mando.
I give him a thumbs up.
He hands you the key.
I look for an old person. I look for a cage with like the least amount of old people.
I mean, all the cages seem to hold about the same amount of people in them, except for the ones that have already been harvested of a few people. 5 to 10 people in them.
Oh yeah, I tell them that someone should step forward to sacrifice themselves.
They all gladly step forward in this old person's cage.
Yeah.
They raise their hands and, ooh, pick me, pick me.
I scope out a person that doesn't want to go. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if they want to go if I just kill them.
In this cage, everyone's fine with going.
When we were in our induction and we did this, the commanding officer walked with the case, asked who was willing, and we chose those that were not willing. So I mean, we're gonna kill them and turn them into zombies. So I don't know if that.
Turn them into a zombie anyway. They're gonna die before they go in. It doesn't matter.
But maybe the demon ship might not like if we kill willing people. I haven't done anything in the demon ship that hasn't
I
like.
killed someone in my room earlier.
But he was cool with that.
No, he wasn't.
The demon ship did not seem to care.
Yep.
So far, the demon ship has not cared that you've killed anyone, and I doubt that will change.
Fuck it. Okay. I mean, we don't know.
Let's make some zombies.
We open a cage and we pull out a weak-looking person.
The first group we fought who kicked
So
our asses.
you take an old volunteer.
I lock the cage back.
Alright, you take one old volunteer and lock the cage back. There's a nice old Vishkanyan lady out here now, smiling. She's doing her arms up and down, saying, I won! I won!
I'm like, yeah, you won! And I stab her between the eyeballs. I just have a little stick, so I'm just gonna help you out with that goal. Oh man. To get to zombie status.
Roll for initiative. I only got a 5.
I got an 8.
I'm last. I think Eriku was first, so.
I go into a rage and I draw my axe. I hack and slash.
Yes.
Alright, roll an attack on this old lady. Hit.
12.
That's enough to knock this old lady unconscious. She's not dead yet. She's unconscious and bleeding.
Can I cut her middle open?
Roll the damage for that weapon as you cut.
5.
With a 5, you cut her to death. She is now dead, but she's got a big gaping wound in her chest. Blood starts to change color. Her skin becomes paler. Her eyes roll back in her head.
I would like to perceive her blood as it changes its color, please.
Yeah, it
Can
becomes dark.
I acknowledge it? What color was it before?
Reddish when it hit the air.
It turned dark,
Like brown or black.
brown, or black. The black blood on my finger. I would like to just take that finger with the black blood and draw like a red rune symbol.
So you can't reach any of the walls right now because they're through the other sides of cages. You can reach the floor. You can touch the furnace, but that would probably burn you.
I will use the floor just to see if the blood reacts to magic symbols at all.
Not any more than any other blood you've drawn in the dirt has, no.
Okay.
That has special religious significance to you, but nothing crazy happened.
I'm ready my axe. That fucking old lady zombie is coming up.
Yeah, I'm like, just 5 more seconds, just 5 more seconds. As y'all are like, she's gonna become a zombie, right? I wanna open her eyeballs. I would like to open her eyes.
So Erog, you letting your turn pass to give Bakefo 5 more seconds?
No, I was just kidding on the 5
If
seconds.
she wants to take those extra 5 seconds, I'll let her.
Alright, Bakefo, take your 5 seconds.
I would like to look into her, like, open her eyes.
I'm ready.
I wanted to look at, like, open the eyelids and look at the eyes, if the eyes are changing.
They've already rolled back. They look dead, unresponsive.
But that's it, they just look dead.
Maybe a little more bloodshot than usual, and they, like I said, they've rolled back some.
I would like to take one of the eyeballs and my dagger and scoop it out.
Okay, so roll the damage with that dagger to scoop out an eyeball.
4.
It rises. Erog, you have your action ready so you can swing as soon as it rises.
14.
Hit.
That is 12 damage.
Enough to kill this zombie, though, adding on the damage that Bakefo did. Zombie neutralized. You guys each get 3 points.
I want to go look into her dead zombie eye, the one still in her head. Does it look different from the eye that I plucked out right before it turned into a zombie?
Very similar. No large differences to notice, really.
Okay.
You can look at that body all you want.
I rip out
I
the
think
other
we
eye.
should,
No, that's it. I
think
just wanted
we
to
should
see
get
how
another-
different it was after.
I rip out the other eye from jealousy of not getting both eyes.
You know, we gotta get another zombie body, I think.
Yeah, are we throwing them both in the front time?
Maybe like stagger it just a minute, you know, get it started and then wait and throw another one in
And
there.
then run.
And then,
It's
yeah,
like
then we go to the
smoky.
shower.
I'm going to open
Kill a
another
lot.
cage. What other type of body do we want? Do we want another old person?
No, we can take another old person.
Just want to throw in this old person we have now. Let's carry it together to make it easier.
Then it's going to get smoky and we're going to have to kill the other old person out. Or you can just kill both of them right
One
now.
kid.
It's already kind of smoky.
Well, wouldn't one old person be equal to 2 kids at least? If we needed 2 kids to create
Oh,
more
not
smoke.
true. Well, fuck it. Let's just get one more just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, let's smoke them out. Because after we throw that second body, let's
Okay,
just run
so
to the second
Shower's
floor,
ready.
get in the showers, and see what happens.
Fuck these kids up.
Alright, this time it's an old man, or an old snake man. He thinks he was just chosen the next contestant on The Price is Right. He's real excited. Show him what he's won, guys. Roll for initiative.
Yeah.
I got a 3 for the old man.
I got a natural 20.
I got 2.
I got a not natural 20.
Alright, so I go Erog, Eriku, old man, Bakefo.
I'm gonna play up into this.
Go get him,
whole
you guys.
thing. I'm gonna be like, yeah, come on over this way, sir. And I do like a little dance with my axe in my hand, like, and 19.
That's a hit on an old man.
That's another 11.
So close to being unconscious. He's pretty bloody right now. He's screaming. You can't tell if he's screaming in excitement or pain. It's Eriku's turn.
I giggle and belly clap by Mando Australian hand.
I'm really impressed by Eric's dance moves, and I do a little twirl before I chop the old man down with my axe. I only get a 13 though. The twirl fucked me up.
He leans into it, luckily.
I do a 7.
Alright, now he's unconscious. Not dead, but unconscious.
I jump on top of him and cut him open.
Alright.
I'm like, man, that was a
5!
He's still not totally dead, but you have cut him open and he's bleeding out.
Okay.
Am I not
Pretty
gonna
near
get
death
extra?
at this point. He'll probably die in the next 6 seconds, even if you don't do anything.
I look up at my friends and I'm like, can we kill more people later?
I think 2's good. I mean, we can't halfway do this job. What are we going to beat up this old man and just leave him here? No, we got to do this one all the way through. And then we can stop killing people.
Okay, I'm gonna take one of his eyes out right now when he's still Vishkanyan.
Okay, you
You're
take
gonna be
out
like,
the
do a
eyeball.
huff and puff.
In his last 6 seconds of life, you yank an eyeball out.
Yeah, I'm good. I step off him. I kind of step.
He rises up, an old zombie man. He
I don't
rises
waste
up.
a moment. I chop him. 14.
It's a hit.
8.
Erog gives him a pretty good gash with his weapon.
I go in for it also. I'm like, la, 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 la.
It's a hit.
9 damage.
Alright, he is now officially bereft of life. Totally dead.
I
Alright.
rip out that other eye.
You should have somebody waiting in the showers.
I'll go
Either-
first.
You're going to go
I'm
in the
gonna take
shower.
that eyeball with me and see what happens to it.
You go up, you're ready to shower.
Help me drag these bodies over the fence.
Erica and I would like to drag the bodies, the zombie bodies, toward the furnace.
Alright, so you guys are what, 5-10 feet away from the furnace, right where it starts getting really, really hot and you're sweaty?
I'm going back to the bathroom.
Alright, as you guys are dragging bodies over there, Bakefo climbs back up to mid-deck and runs to the shower area. Alright, you guys are, like I said, 5-10, 15 feet away from the furnaces. You're sweaty, it's hot.
Yeah. Put those bodies in the furnace.
Who wants to open the door?
I do with my gauntlet hand. And it takes
Alright, Gauntlet takes 4 damage this time. Alright, so Eric opens the door once more.
Alright, so now, where I depart from Erica, head up.
Alright, you guys throwing the body in before you separate, or you just open the door and then
Just
separate?
toss them in by yourself.
Alright, so once the door's open, Erog heads towards the ladder upstairs.
Well, why don't we both throw one in while it's open right now?
Alright, so you guys toss the first body in together.
At the same time.
Don't really matter.
One body in, smoke billows out. Arog runs to the ladder, opens the hatch, goes up a level.
Closes the hatch behind me into the showers.
Smoke is really, really thick on the bottom deck now. It's starting to filter a little bit up to the mid deck. You can't really see it, but you can sort of see it like coming out of the vents and it sort of dissipates.
Can I throw the other body in now?
You just toss him in.
Do it.
The furnace slams shut after you toss him in. Smoke billows, even thicker, even darker. So thick it's almost like swimming through it now when you put your arm through it.
I crouch down real low.
Alright,
So
you
I
get down real low, the smoke's above you, and it's a thick plume of smoke above you. You can feel it like heavy on your back when you're crawling around the floor.
I spider scurry hatch.
Alright, you want to climb up and go to the mid deck? That hatch?
Yeah, because I see here in all the cages, so we can come back and we can check.
If they end up down there?
Yeah.
Alright, so you climb up to the mid deck and you slam the hatch behind yourself.
Before I leave, I ask the guard to let me know if he sees any kids drop down in the cage or like notice anything weird going on down here.
He laughs and says, I can't even see you right now, but sure.
Use your spider senses, and I wink at him, and I tell him I'm winking at him, so he knows it's not this weird.
He said, I'm glad you told me or I wouldn't have known.
I'm like, it was a really, really hot wing, and I leave. At that moment, I leave without even saying anything.
And you head upstairs and you'll see Bakefo running down the hallway past the bunks towards showers. And you can follow. Arog, you're already there. You'll start seeing some of the smoke filter through the pipes and the vents in the shower as well, but like I said, it kind of dissipates. It's starting to get a little thicker now than it was a moment ago. There's now like a thick gray fog sort of settling about kind of up to your knees shower area. Not as dark as it was below deck, but thick and gray.
Tiny lungs won't be able to handle it.
Yeah. You definitely hear some tiny coughing echoing through the vents. I mean, maybe the perception check you have, it'll try to pinpoint where it's coming from, but
I would like to perception check. 11.
Got a 25.
with a 25 perception, Eriku will be able to perceive their little scrapey Vishkanya footsteps near the shower area. They seem to have scurried upward from your perception, Eriku.
I whisper in a low growl, they're going up.
Right, I would like to cast a spell on Eriku. It's called Spider Climb, and it grants the ability to climb on the walls and the ceilings.
That's a good spell. So for 20 minutes, you can walk on walls.
Because I'm convinced I have spider sense and I am a spider now, I seamlessly just start climbing the wall, but I don't even question it. And I'm like all about it, and I just follow the scurrying 25 perception.
Alright, so you're now like spider walking on the ceiling, following the sound.
I whistled like a cool whistle at Arog with like a motion to follow this.
Seems to have gone directly up. You'll hear Eriku roll a perception check from the ceiling now.
I got an 11.
Alright, so you do hear a humanoid voice that is probably not a Vishkanyan child. Sounds like an adult. A loud sound, but it was hard to make out what exactly it was.
I'm guessing they went where we totally were like, no, they totally won't go there. And I spider crawl really super fast to the upper.
We're going to the main deck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to the deck.
Alright, so as Eriku crawls on the ceiling towards the hatch on the other side of the bunks, you guys follow?
Yeah.
Jason.
I'm on
Alright,
this roof
everybody
of the
follows
ceiling.
Eriku towards the hatch to the top deck. You're on the top deck now. Perception checks?
Got a 9. Oh, 5. That's not a
25. We're gonna get these kids.
9.
Kefo, you'll be the first one to notice. When you first reach the hatch to the top deck, the humming stops shortly after. Humming that's almost constant up here comes to a stop, and everyone's kind of looking around confusedly as you guys are emerging from this hatch. I need everyone to roll a will save except Bakefo. Include you, Karam.
Oh shit.
Are you kidding me? Natural 1.
Oh shit.
I got a natural 20.
15.
Alright, so it looks like Eriku and Bakefo are now free of the ship's influence. Arog and Karam are still a little confused about things right this moment.
Fun.
I wake up and screech.
I mean, for you, nothing's really changed except now I just can't tell you what to do. You remembered everything that's happened up until now. Well, not like you've, we're a different person or anything.
So I'm like right outside the hatch, right? And I assume you're just like, yeah, right? And I'm gonna be like, yeah! And I'm gonna like try to make eye contact with you and give you like one and just be like, I'm with you, right? And it's like, cause I'm like, oh, fuck, this horrible timing, but who? I'm like, who? And I got my dagger, and I'm just like, the children, like that. Like, I'm like, the children.
I want to proceed where the children are right now.
You guys don't see any children up here. You just notice all of your crew members looking confusedly around.
Can I I go investigate by the captain and the first mate's quarters? Like, try to, like...
There are doors on the other side of the control room.
still-
Each door, there's one on the left, one on the right side of Karam hanging upside down.
Can I go and, like, get close so I can try to hear if anything's going on in there? Because...
Yeah, which door would you like to press your ear up to? The one on the left or the one on the right?
Go back down to the only other open hole.
Shower.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go if you don't want to.
No, I'll go down there.
But you
I'll
can
go.
definitely survive
I'll go
solo
wait.
eventually.
So, Arog, you're volunteering to go check out the showers just in case?
I am also, just want to, like, side note, I got 2 hits. So.
Right now? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, keep an eye on her.
Alright, so Arog, you're going back to the shower?
Yeah.
Weak, Eriku, and Bakefo approach the doors. You go into 2 separate doors, one door?
Hold on. She does have that climbing thing for like 20 minutes though. So if you want to head back downstairs and like follow the sound of anything or like go like...
Well, we just need
secret
someone
version
at the
too.
other opening.
Okay, I just want to throw that out.
And you can handle whatever got the other opening by yourself right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna spider climb up and around the door and like aiming above it to like
Okay.
listen in.
Yes.
Alright, which door, left or right?
I think we should each get one of the doors.
Yeah, you take left off the
So,
right.
okay, I take the left
I'll
door.
take the right door.
Alright, so each of you need to roll a perception check to listen to your doors.
21.
Alright, you're gonna hear some muffled words, like someone trying to speak but being prevented. Like muffled sounds, for sure.
Does it seem like they're in distress?
Quite possibly.
I bang on the door.
Alright, you bang on the door.
I see it. Try to see if he gets mad about that.
Yeah, no one responds. The crew kind of looks around confusedly at you, but no one comes to the door or answers it. Meanwhile, Bakefo, your perception?
I got a 21. Isn't this the area where Karam's hung up as well?
Yep, Karam is in between the two of you on the wall.
He is still on the wall.
Yep, Karam is in between the, upside down.
Okay. Yeah, I perceive with my ears to the door, please. A 21%.
You're gonna hear no noise at all inside that room. Completely silent.
Okay. I'm gonna see Eriku. What did you do?
I banged on the door.
Banged on. I'm gonna definitely hear that, and I'm gonna go over and like stand like on the wall between the doors with my little dagger. Stand against the wall.
Alright, so you have your butt right next to Karam.
Yeah. Like Karam's head is in between my legs, and his body's behind me. And I'm just like in front of him like this. Like I'm using him to like blend in.
You're like doing the inverse Karam right now. Got it.
Yeah.
You continue to bang on your door, Eriku?
I holler in and I'm like, "Sir, make a commotion if you need assistance, or yell at me if you're good." You do that real loud.
You hear, everything's fine in here.
I open that fucking door.
Yeah.
The door is locked.
I axe the door down and I'm like, "I'm coming in to help!"
Alright, roll an attack on the door.
Still raging, so 28,
Oh yeah, you totally hit that wall real good. Right in the spot you're aiming for. Now roll your damage on that wall.
7.
Alright, so you do 7 damage to that door, bending some of the metal. I don't have to see through it yet, but put a dent in this metal door.
It's like from above too, so I can like,
Yeah, you're swinging right at the top of the apex of the door.
yeah, and I'm like, if anything fucky's going on in here, I'm gonna like fucking kill ya, dude. I hope you're a kid that's a snake that has someone's like treats or whatever, because you get the point.
Alright,
Can I do an intimidation with that?
you can do intimidation with that.
That incredible display of aggression. Too.
Oh, that's no way to speak to your captain.
Okay, so I know that things are fucky because the first mate came out of this door, so I specifically remember that. So now I'm real pissed off. Because thumbs up.
My legs are around Kieran's face, and I kind of like thigh press, hit him in the face a couple times, and I'm like, "This will be a really good time. I'm conscious again," like that. Can I cut Kieran down? Can I release Kieran?
She's locked up, but maybe with the sleight of hand to like pick the locks or something, you might be able to.
I'm gonna pick one lock. I'll be back. I want to do this slowly. I would like to pick
There are
one.
4 locks, one on each hand and one on each leg.
I'm gonna release one of her hands. I'm gonna release, since there's commotion in the right door, I'm gonna release the right hand.
Do you have a thieves kit with the lockpick stuff on it, or are you just trying to use your dagger?
I'm gonna use my dagger and my belt buckle together.
Alright, here's Jimmy locking it, just trying to figure this lock out.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a gun, apparently. I could just blast.
Oh yeah, I know how to gun.
Oh,
That's very,
blast my hand off.
true, but that's also very attention-grabbing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick it. Picking a lock. 17!
Alright, not bad, but you are unable to pick the lock.
Did I loosen it?
You feel like you came close to unlocking it, but you failed, unfortunately. But you did come very close. You spent 6 seconds trying. You almost had it, but you didn't quite get it.
I'm gonna draw my gun.
Meanwhile, in the door next to you that you're banging on, it says, Oh, that's enough banging for now. Thank you.
I'm gonna scream, I'm not banging, I'm about to slice my way open and murder you because you're not the first mate or the captain. And if you are, sorry, my bad, but something seems fucked up and I attack the door again to create like a hole in the very top where a child can't crawl out, but I can crawl in. 28.
That's a hit. Do some more door damage.
7.
Alright. Now there's a big enough hole for you to see and you can't fit through it yet. Perception check if you'd like to look in.
I say the line, here's Eriku.
All work and no play makes Eriku a dull girl.
I got a 19.
That's a great perception for this particular situation. You will see the first mate is tied up on the ground, hogtied. A little snake kid with a makeshift sack trying to haul as much stuff up into one of the vents above as possible through a makeshift rope that is dangling down. He's like climbing back up. He looks panicked as your head pokes in. He's like trying to get his little sack up into the pipe because he's like, it doesn't quite fit. And he's like jerking the sack up into the vent as you're watching.
And I can't crawl through the hole yet?
Not yet. You're pretty close.
Well,
you feel like
before
another 6 damage you can make it in.
If before I do attack, intimidate and then attack, right? I tell him, you better fucking drop the bag, and he shouldn't try to climb through the vent because we have all the exits blocked. So you're gonna either die, or my other friend's gonna catch you and probably kill you. No matter what you do, you're gonna die. So, the 15, but then I'm gonna roll the attack on the door because I do not care what this kid says. And it's not dropping.
I mean, he's already pretty frightened, but he did not drop his bag.
Tell him I'm gonna strangle him with a sack. I got a 22.
That's a hit.
And I roll my damage on the door, which is a 5.
So you're very, very close. You can almost fit in the opening, and it's like one more, you just need to peel back another like couple of inches. Pretty big size hole in the top of the door now. Almost enough to consider the door completely broken, enough that you can just like knock it off his head, but not quite.
So is the kid gonna do anything? He's just trying to climb up into the vent with his big ass bag?
Kid's up in the pipe now, you can no longer see him. A couple of things fall out of his sack and down to the floor. A doll, what looks like some sort of dice game, some dice bounce all around the floor. Snacks, some more treats fall out.
I run over to the first mate and I'm like, sir, we will get you your treats. This is all part of the plan. Not you getting tied up, but I'm here to help you with that. Sorry that happened, but my friend's about to get that fucking kid. We're gonna get all your treats back.
Yeah, he's hog-tied with this makeshift rope made of sheets, and he's gagged. So he's just like muffling, trying to talk to you.
I wink at him. I tell him that I'm gonna release him, and I'm gonna tell him that I'm gonna stay here and guard at this vent. The kid only has 2 places to go right now. We're gonna fuck him up.
All right, so you're gonna cut him free of his ropes?
Yes.
All right, you cut that guy free.
He isn't pissed off at me because obviously I'm doing a good job helping him.
He seems pretty frazzled, but you did just cut him free. He's sort of exposed right now, so after you cut him free, he's gonna try to like scrape about to put his clothes back on and stuff.
Before I did untie him, I gave him a really gentle kiss on the forehead, and I told him everything's gonna be okay. And I throw his clothes at him, and I'm like, I gotta go fuck these kids up now, but I'm guarding him. So I'm not going anywhere.
He scrums about his room, he picks up the things that drop to the floor. Seems to be straightening back up the mess the kids made in his room, so he seems kind of in a huff.
I asked him if the captain's in.
Says, how will I know? Look at my room, it's a mess. Why don't you go check? It's not my business.
I tell him it's probably his business because this is the kids he wanted us to catch earlier that fucked his shit up, and that's what I'm doing, you know? And I tell him to holler at me if the kid comes back through the fence so I can kill him.
Yeah, sure, I'll holler if that kid shows back up. I'm gonna get him this time. He's not gonna catch me napping again.
I look him up and down at the position he's in now, in contrast with the position he was in earlier, clothed and not shamed, and I have a presence of betterness about him. I stand above him on the floor, gathering up his shit, and I'm like, ha! And I run away. I run over to the other door, bang on it again.
Alright, you bang on the second door on the right?
Yeah, I'm like, Captain, are you alright? We're having to deal with some prisoners escaping and fucking shit up, and I want to check on you, because you're, my boyfriend.
The door is gonna fling open. There will be 3 snake children in there, and the captain, who is standing up with them, lined up in front of him, like all 3 of them in front. The one in front seems to be wearing the captain's hat.
How far away from them am I?
About 15-20 feet. The crew starts to whistle a tune again.
Can I lunge at the child with the hat?
You can try, roll for initiative. I rolled a 9.
I got a non-natural 20.
If I roll, my initiative is 5 though, so I'm after.
Alright, so it looks like Eriku and me, then Bekefo. And Erog's crouching in the shower.
Guard the only other open hole.
Okay.
That all 3 covered right now. So I'm gonna first intimidate the child with all the children, but it's like a flirting intimidation because the captain's there. I got a 19, and I'm like, I want to kill you. I'm so excited I found you because you're gonna die, all of you. It's gonna be great. The 23, so I'm gonna chop the kid right in the head. And my damage is a 7.
Alright, you do 7 damage to this kid. The entire ship will respond. Everyone that takes orders from the ship, everyone that's under the ship's control, will see that as a sign of hostility, and you as a hostile character, and then will now lash out against you.
Oh shit.
So, first of all, the captain draws his pistol.
Oh fuck. What? I had my gun on already.
So the captain fires once and misses. The second time I got a 22 versus your touch AC though.
Yeah.
And the third time misses, so only one hit with his gun. 9 damage.
Yeah, I'm passed out.
Alright, you're unconscious.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that hat.
That's a disarm check if you want to try and CMB this kid.
Oh, mine cancel out. I just have a 10.
That is not enough to knock the hat off the child.
Yeah, I have that quick and spell thing.
You may
I
do
want to
that.
dazzle his little ass.
Alright, I get a will save, which I only rolled a 13. Alright, so that means you succeed. You're able to dazzle this kid. The crew's gonna rush in and try to grab you, so I'm gonna roll some CMBs to try and grab you, Bacefo. I got a 14 versus your CMD. I got a 19 versus your CMD.
Nope.
A 6 versus your CMD.
That one didn't get me. Yay.
And a 19 versus your CMD.
That one did get me. So I got 3 of them.
Alright, so 3 people are holding you now. So by
Okay.
both of your arms and one of your legs probably are grabbed.
If you have a way to wake me up, that'd be great. It'd be really great.
Your light wounds you. Shove good berries
Will that
down
give me
your
a hit point?
face.
You can't shove anything right now.
Your arms are being held. You have to break free of that to be able to do a touch
Oh
spell
yeah,
or to
I'm
give good
about
barriers.
to break out of that right now. They're already on me. I'm gonna create flame out of my pinned down hand. Produce flame,
Oh,
and
produce
it does
flame?
1d6 damage plus 1 per level touch or thrown. Since they're already touching me, I would just like to do a touch. 19?
That'll be a hit versus touch AC.
7.
You do 7 damage to one of the crew members who grabbed you. I'm gonna try and club you. I got a 17 versus your AC, Bacefo. And a 20 versus your AC. And a 12 versus your AC, so 3 hits. 18 damage.
Unconscious.
You guys are both unconscious for now. Meanwhile, Arog, you're gonna run up here, and by the time you get to the top deck, the situation is neutralized, and
Yeah.
everyone's cheering and greeting the new captain.
Hooray!
I'm cheering as well.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah, little Vishkanyan kid is captain. He's appointed 2 new first mates, or his 2 little snake kid buddies. Old first mates got kicked out of his room and is now serving alongside all you guys. You'll see that your 2 unconscious friends from before are being carried below deck.
I'm gonna try to make a case for these two if I can. I don't know what I'm allowed to do right now. Because
As long as you're doing it for selfish reasons, that's fine. If you're trying to be altruistic here, then no. If there's something in it for you, maybe. What do you stand to gain from it? Because while you do kind of recognize them from your past life, as far as you're concerned, if they wronged the ship, then they are wrong.
I'll be like, hey, Captain. Oh no, who do we address? You guys.
Captain New Guy.
new
Yeah.
guy, dude.
It's a Vishkanyan kid named Aiken.
Icon? Okay, Captain Icon. Can we really spare the men right now?
He says, "Keep it up, and we can spare one more."
I shut up.
Yes, you do. He's gonna order you to let down the nice upside down lady, who they're talking about, the very pretty man, Karam, of course.
I'll need the keys.
The new captain will rummage around in his new room for a moment and return with a skeleton key and hand it to you, Arog.
I go and unlock the locks on Karam.
Alright, Karam, you're gonna fall to the floor. After the locks come undone, boom, boom, boom. Roll me a will save.
Can I use a throw point?
Of course, please do.
So 8 plus the rest.
But just barely enough for Karam. Whenever you are taken out of your shackles, you become aware of where you are. You now realize you are in some sort of strange, black enclosed space full of weird people you've never seen before. You see Mando, a guy you might recognize from before, and Eriku being carried off, and Arog is in the vicinity. And there's a Vishkanyan kid with a 3-cornered hat who's in charge, greets you very friendlily, and says, "You were friends with my grandpa,
Your grandpa.
and he showed you how to make baskets. Fishing baskets. He said you were real nice, and so I thought I'd set you free.
Thank you so much. What happened?
These mean people kidnapped us, but now we're gonna kidnap them.
My friend?
All of them. Everyone except Billy and Steve and me, Aiken.
Where's the rest of your people?
They're below deck, all locked up. Why don't you and that guy I gave a key, why don't you go let them all free?
I have a key, yeah. We can go
Yes,
run free.
he points to
Everyone's
Arog.
free. Let's go set these motherfuckers free.
And all you have to do is lock up Eriku and Bakefo. Those two are mean, and they tried to attack me, so you have to lock them up. But if you lock them up and go set all my people free, we'll call it even, and you can be with us, Karam.
Why would they attack you? I don't believe that they would just attack you. You guys are just children.
Well, you can lock them up, and you can ask them when they wake up, but they definitely attacked us.
Alright, since you set me free, as long as, you promise not to harm them.
We would never.
Alright, thank you so much. Show me the way,
I show Karen the way down to the bottom deck, unlocking all of the Vishkanian prisoners.
Alright, you lock up Eriku and Bakefo.
Of course.
Alright, you follow orders. So you guys are locked up. Karam suddenly walks free and in control of her own faculties. Arog is around, does not seem in control of himself, probably won't take orders from you, but is able to do whatever he wants as long as it's not against the will of the ship. There's a bunch of Vishkanya around, mixed with the regular crew. A little more crowded than usual. There's a lot of guys around, a lot of people around.
I want to talk to the new captain.
The new captain seems to have returned to captain's quarters. The little kid has locked himself in his room. Both have locked themselves in their new rooms.
I go up and knock on the door and I say, sorry to be a bother to you. It's Kara. May I have a moment of your time to talk to you?
Diplomacy.
22.
The door unlocks and opens just a crack, and you can see this little kid's Vishkanya eye peek out, and he sees you and says, "What?"
I just wanted to talk to you about future plans of the boat and everything. What's going on now that you're in charge? And I'm glad that you are now because I'm free. Thank you very much again. Can we have a little sit-down chat privately, and just talk about plans?
Okay, I guess. Come on in. You come in, he locks the door behind you. Dark except for a little bit of candlelight in here, but this captain's room seems to be full of all sorts of plunder, various treasures and trinkets, fancy foods, all kinds of stuff just stored away privately here. A kid in a toy box basically. He's gotten all this stuff out and made a mess. So this room is probably what's well organized, and there's stuff everywhere. All kinds of trinkets and maps and stuff like that's been drawn on, and yeah, he's been in here being a kid, and you can pretty much guess after a few moments of talking with him that he doesn't really seem to have a plan. He just likes being in charge. Doesn't really know what to do next.
I did as you guys asked. Put my buddies in prison for the time being and released your people. Did you guys have plans on going back to your island, or is there anything you wanted to do?
Diplomacy.
8.
I want to go back to the island. No one listens to us there. Here, everyone just does whatever we say. This is the best. I love this boat.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's pretty awesome. You've got a pretty sweet pad now.
I want to stay here forever.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but we're probably going to have to figure out what we're going to do about food and where we're going to sail to. I'm sure you can keep the boat just fine, but
How do you suppose we should get more food then?
I think maybe we can sail back to our homeland, and there's plenty of food and everything there, and then you guys can maybe drop us off and then go about your own way.
So you'll help us plunder your homeland?
Yeah, I can get some shipmates, and we can do some fishing and stuff and catch some food. But I was hoping that you can drop me and my friends off at our homeland, and then you can do whatever you want after that.
What do you think this is? Your own private taxi service?
You help us, we help you.
How are you helping me, by the way?
Yeah, because you obviously you just want to sit around and be captain, right? I can help you, take care of all the things you don't feel like messing with.
I can make anybody do anything. Why do I need you?
Good question.
You do detect evil in the area of the child. He seems willing to make a deal with you. The crew is larger now, and the Vishkanyans like to party every night, so they've been going through food resources a lot faster, I'm sure. So your idea about where do we get food next is a rather pressing question for a captain to think about. Something he does have to worry about. So if you'll figure out how the ship finds its next meal, maybe he'll consider doing your favor. If you can help provide food for the journey, figure out how to feed this crew, consider getting you back to your homeland.
Can I think on it and get back to you?
You leave the kid's room. He locks the door behind himself and goes back to playing with his toys and trinkets and stuff. You're back out in the big control room where Arog is probably milling about unless he went back to his bunk or the galley or to take a shower or something.
I'm wandering around.
I want to go talk to Arog.
You have no trouble finding Arog pretty quickly. You may approach and talk to him anytime you like.
I'm working on something.
Okay, I can talk to you while you work. I just talked to the captain, the new captain. He said that he's willing to take us home, mine and our friends, if we can come up with a way to, get food and stuff and
because we've got a lot of people who doesn't want to worry about all that stuff themselves, so you gotta figure out how to get some food.
Well,
Captain wants us to. We should probably do some fishing or something.
I love it here. I don't ever want to go home. When we're out in the middle of the ocean, fishing's probably the way to go.
Either way, we still need to get the captain
Right.
and the crew.
Okay. Well, does this ship have any large fishing gear? Maybe we can get like a big old net or something.
I was hoping you could help me find that.
Sure.
All right, you guys want to do a perception or knowledge local to go looking for a big net?
I'll do a knowledge local. 15.
In all of your work on the ship, you have not seen any giant nets or anything like that, unless someone's just carrying one on their person. You doubt anyone would carry anything larger than a 10-foot net. So no, you don't see anything like that lying around. No kind of fishing gear. And I mean, this is a submarine, so it's enclosed, so you would have no way to shipping without surfacing, or fishing without surfacing, or it has no
Well, I mean,
practical
surf-
fishing applications while you're using it.
Any large chains and large hooks?
No, there are some large chains, but no large hooks, really. And all the chains seem to be attached to stuff that seems important. So if you took the chain, you're probably unlinking a bonk or, something important.
Well, the Vishkanya know how to make fish traps and shit, right? I have a little net, but that's going to take a long time to feed this whole crew. Catching like 3 or 4 fish at a time.
I think we should go to an island.
Let's go talk to the cook. Maybe he'll have some ideas.
Alright.
We'll make our way to the kitchen.
Alright, you go find the cook. Not hard to do.
There, I'm
There's
sure.
a small crew of humans on duty. Some of the Vishkanyans have joined the crew. There's one guy that's obviously in charge.
I approach him.
Alright.
How do you suppose we go about getting more food supplies?
He spins around startled with a knife in his hand.
My bad.
No big deal. He says, sorry, I'm working hard to feed all this large crew. Been working, double time lately. He says, I don't know, we usually just get food wherever we are, wherever we go, we just take whatever we need. And when we run out of food, we just eat whoever's not pulling their weight on the crew.
Yeah, alright, gotcha.
How many mouths are there to feed on this ship? You should know that. How many
Yeah.
people on here to feed?
Sure, it's like 90 now. Somewhere around 90.
I think we should surface, get a group of our best hunters, fishers, and go out for a little something, and I could probably convince them to let us have them come along.
I'm useful.
I want to look around for. Well, I'll go ahead. I'll ask him. Anybody from the crew that would be helpful in hunting or fishing?
Says everyone's as useful as they are. They either have been out of this boat for a while or are these Vishkanyan folks. I'm sure everyone's been able to survive one way or another.
How many people are in the room with us right now?
Probably about 10 right now in the galley.
Yell out. Does anybody good hunter or fisherman
They shrug.
would like to go on an adventure?
Diplomacy.
One.
They shrug and go right back to their cook work and just continue chopping whatever they got lying around.
You guys want to keep having full bellies. You might want to come with us, show us people that would be helpful in our adventure, finding food.
Diplomacy again.
21.
Head chef says get out of his kitchen. He says, but you're free to ask anyone else.
Alright, my bad. I walk out.
I guess we should maybe find the navigator or something.
Yeah.
See if somebody knows an island we can go off to.
Knowledge local to find a navigator.
Got a 19.
Alright, you find the navigator. A group of folks capable of navigating right now. The old captain, the old first mate, and their old navigator. But you can find any one of them and have a chat.
What's the old captain? I'm gonna talk to him.
Alright, you go to the old captain.
You don't have to follow me right now.
Alright, fuck it, I'll come with you. Let's sit together.
The two of you go see the former captain for some navigation advice.
I want to sense motive on him as I approach.
Okay, you can do that.
20, not natural.
He's humming the same tune everyone else is and doing work like everyone else. Currently, he seems to be swabbing the deck with a little short mop.
I want to approach him and say hello.
He'll be startled to turn around and swing his mop in the air at you. He'll get splashed with a little bit of water.
I'm sorry to scare you. I guess I scared everybody. How are you?
Fine, busy at work.
Can I ask you a few questions, please?
Go right ahead, as long as I can continue working. Starts mopping in a circle around you.
How long were you captain of this ship before?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, I mistook you for somebody else. Do you know how to, do you know anybody that would, the captain sent me to look for people to help find hunters and fishermen some more food in the future. Do you know anybody that can help?
Looks around and waves his hand around the room and says, all these guys seem pretty capable of handling themselves.
I'm gonna ask him a question. You wouldn't happen to know anywhere close to our current location we can stop and either hunt or find foodstuffs?
Diplomacy, Arog. He'll say, I feel like I used to have some maps. I can't seem to find them in my pack now, but I used to have some maps. I kind of remember if I just had my maps. See, I got this thing. He pulls out an astrolabe device. He says, I could use this here, and my maps, if I could just find my maps, and we could find some land, but all I got right now is the astrolabe. If you can find a map, I'll help you out.
Where's the last place you saw your maps? I remember seeing your maps.
I could have swore they were in my bag.
Well then, find those maps and feed this crew.
We'll be back. Thank you.
He returns to mopping. Roll a reflex save when you walk away, Karam.
Is it too late to cast my aura of courage?
You can have your Aura of Courage on. You can be brave while you slip.
21.
Sort of slip in a little puddle of water, but you regain your composure. You don't fall or anything. Your feet do a little fast foot move a couple times, but that's it.
Oh, don't scare me.
And the former captain says, watch out, that's wet. Watch your
Thanks
step.
for that whole thing.
Should put a sign out.
Yeah.
Maps might be in Captain's quarters.
Alright, we can go ask the captain. He seems to like you.
Okay. How about you just gather some men for hunting?
Alright, well I'm gonna start with talking to the navigator.
So Arog goes off man gathering.
Yes.
Starting with the navigator man.
Do you want to talk to the former captain, the former first mate, or the former navigator? All have the ability to navigate.
Oh, I was gonna go talk to the navigator and see if he had any insight or maybe a lead on these maps.
Diplomacy.
Damn! Natural one.
Alright, the navigator seems really busy right now and can't be bothered. Apparently working on something very important.
That fool didn't know anything anyway. Walk away.
Probably
I had
not.
to the captain's quarters to wait for Karen.
Alright, you mill about nearby. You polish the doorknob if Karen gets to go inside. Meanwhile, Karen, you get to roll diplomacy to see if the captain lets you in again.
13.
Captain asks, what do you want, but doesn't open the door. He kind of yells through the door.
I've come up with a plan on what we can do, but we need some maps first. That's all we need.
Diplomacy.
11.
Maps? Pfft, what? Can't eat a map.
Well, we need a map so we don't get lost on our way to find the food.
He opens the door a crack and shoves his little hand out with the scroll rolled up.
I grab it.
Slams the door back. Locks it.
Can I open it and look at it?
You may. Perception check.
Well,
Alright, you open it up. It does appear to be a very crudely drawn map.
what, a kid draw it? Oh, man.
Crudely drawn.
I don't think we're sailing with a crew of artists, though.
Only one blocked out. I want to turn it upside down, or so I thought was,
Yeah, you flip it the other way and see if maybe that
Yeah, look
does
at
it.
it again.
Okay.
Yes.
It looks different, but it's not any better or worse that way. You'll notice there is no marking to determine what is north in this map or anything like that.
Big map.
It's a big ass map.
A knock again. A different map. I'm gonna ask for anything. Everything. all the maps. Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you again, sir.
Diplomacy.
Do I have my bag out? Oh, nice.
Captain tells you to go away. He already gave you a map.
Are you sure this? I need all the maps. Do you have any more scrolls?
Not anymore.
What did you do?
He just doesn't give you anything. He tells you to go away. Whatever I have in my room is mine. I gave you a map, now go away.
If you don't let me have all the scrolls, then there's less of a chance we're gonna have food in the future, and I want to make sure that you're never starving.
If I get hungry, I'll eat you first.
Why would you do such a thing?
I'm gonna grab Karen by her arm and tug her a little bit, and I'm like, hey, I think we should. Let's take that map to the other two. I'll see if he has any clues on it. If it turns out to be bogus, then we'll try something else.
Stop away.
Alright, you stomp away from the captain's quarters.
Find that guy. That might be able to read.
Just trying to eat.
So you guys go find one of the navigators?
Yeah, the
Former captain? Are you go find the former captain? You show him this map?
Yeah, show him like.
He looks at it and he says, well, it's a map.
Look familiar at all?
I mean, it definitely looks like a map, but I'm just not sure if this is one of my maps or not. But it's definitely a map. Look, there's land and water.
Think you can make anything out of it? Like use it to navigate anywhere?
I mean, if it's accurate and I can see the stars, and we could figure out which way is up.
What time of the day is it right now?
How would I know? Oh, is this out of game?
Yeah, not a game.
I mean, your character would also have no way of knowing. You've been underwater for a while, and there's no way for you to... I mean, you've been kind of sleeping. You've been hanging upside down. So you would have no way of knowing what time of day it is right now. You might feel like it's middle of the day, judging by how awake you are, but you don't know. You haven't seen the sun rise or set or anything like that.
I asked the previous captain if he knows anywhere to get a spyglass around here.
Diplomacy.
Like a telescope.
Like a Sherlock show?
No. Like a telescope.
Telescope.
15, actually. I'm slightly charismatic.
He roots around in his bag, and he pulls out a spyglass and says, I've had this for a while, I guess, if you got something to trade for it.
I have fancy schmancy dart trap that you might be interested in.
I think he'd be willing to go for that. Trade a dart trap for a telescope.
Sweet.
Telescope will give you a +5 to perception checks, of course.
Yeah. Cool.
Especially to see things farther away, of course. You don't want to use it to, like, look at your hand or anything.
Right, that's worse.
Yeah, you go -5 for things close up, but a +5 for things far away.
I think maybe we should just surface and then have a fucking look. Just literally keep going.
Is that your suggestion, Arog, to Karam?
That's my suggestion to
We
Karen.
need to take him up to look at stars too.
Oh, that's true. I'm gonna go grab it for you.
So follow us.
He's like, I'm supposed to finish mopping first, but if the captain says it's okay.
Yeah, he put me in charge of finding out what. So this is part of it.
Yeah, diplomacy.
Oh, it's the ash.
He's not sure. He'd really like to finish up his work first. If you could just wait another hour or two, maybe he could, sneak off after that. He can skip his lunch break. It'll probably take that long for you guys to get the ship to surface anyway, if you get that cleared by the captain.
Or meet us up top in an hour.
Do you go back to the captain's quarters?
Yes, I'm not.
Diplomacy check and tell me what you say when you wrap.
21. I need you to make one quick order to help us out, and then I'm out of your hair.
Name it.
We need the ship to surface so we can map the stars.
Alright, he opens his door, unlocks the door, opens it, peeks his head out, and yells, "Make it so!" People start yanking levers and stuff, pulling knobs and chains and yanking stuff. Ship starts to surface.
I thank him and leave him be.
Yeah, he closes the door back, locks it, ship slowly rises to the surface.
Cool. Alright, we're just gonna find a hatch that'll lead us to the top.
Can I meditate for an hour?
You meditate, Arog goes about his busy work, the former captain finishes his deck swabbing. An hour later, the ship reaches the surface and you guys are allowed to go top deck if you like.
Cool. I'm gonna go up to the top deck.
Alright, the three of you go top deck through the hatch. You're now standing atop of the demon ship. Got a wide, flat base. You guys are in the dark water. It's only the ship is about 5 feet above the water, but the water itself is also black and slick like oil, sort of viscous. It's dark out. It's nighttime right now. You can see the moons, the stars.
Get to looking at those stars. I'm gonna
moons.
try to spot some land in the darkness with my new spyglass.
Alright, do you have dark vision?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I do have dark vision.
Right, that'll help.
I got a 5, so that's a 10.
You do not spot any land at the moment, just that dark water all around you, as far as the eye can see in every direction.
Can I see if I see anything like living around? Maybe creatures flying or even swimming?
Roll perception check.
21.
There do seem to be some large flying creatures in the distance, and you could assume there's living stuff beneath the water, you just can't see it, but it's probably safe to assume there's something down there.
I'm gonna hand Karam the spyglass and be like, here, you take a look. Maybe you'll be able to see a bit better than me. You can see any land masses in the area.
Was it plus?
5. And then I want
Alright, I'm gonna take it,
a little
look
further
around.
water.
Natural 20.
Alright, so with your elven eyes, you do see a little bit better than Arog. You spin around and start looking in most directions, you also see nothing but black water. But when you face one way, there's nothing, and you face the other way, you see some sheets of ice, some glacier. It's not necessarily land, but ice sheets.
Ask the former captain how's it going.
Right, he's got his absolutely about, looks at the stars, looks at the map, says, well, this map is accurate. I think we're right here. He points to the far corner of the map, but he's not sure, and he doesn't recognize this landmass that's annotated on this map.
Well, at least we have some sort of maybe bearing.
He doesn't recognize.
The landmass on the map that's marked out, it doesn't seem familiar to him. He says, maybe it's been a while since I've had my maps, maybe the stuff's changed, but it doesn't look familiar to him. This is uncharted territory as far as he knows, so this is a new map, or charting a territory that he does not know if it exists or not. He seems skeptical of this map.
I don't blame him. How about on the back you make a new map of the stars currently right now? So
He would love to, but doesn't have any map-making supplies. No ink, no pens, nothing to mark this map with. Unless he was to do it with his own blood, and he gets kind of queasy around the sight of blood.
I think we've gathered as much information as we can from up here. I'm gonna head back below before some crazy shit tries to come and murder us.
Okay, well, I agree. We should stay surface, but sail along, keep sailing, get some people, and maybe check out one of those flying creatures off in the distance.
Okay, we can talk about this below deck.
Wait, you want to go murder one of the flying creatures off in the distance?
Yeah.
Karen, with your +5, you would recognize those flying creatures as similar to the large flying demons you encountered before.
Wait, the first demon we encountered? That
Yeah, when we
weird
fell through the
demon?
portal, yeah.
After the first time you fell through the portal, the big flying demon, yeah, that.
But not the pterodactyl demon, the flying human guy.
Those
demon.
are,
It's all
yeah,
different. That one's creepy.
Person made of tar or some shit.
Alright, let's head down.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You guys go back below deck, close the hatch.
We need to assemble a team.
You remain surface, but the demon ship continues its course. By the time you guys get back below deck, the crew is gearing up for a big feast. One of the notable changes in the crew since the new captain has taken over is you guys used to do segmented meal times. And now there's just one big meal every day, and everyone eats at the same time. So right now, everyone in the crew is doing nothing. The ship's sort of like on autopilot. Everyone's getting together to eat, drink snake blood, and just have a good time.
They're doing the Vishkanya way. Okay.
Captain's out walking around with his two little buddies, and he's got a big like entourage of men around him. But everyone's out eating food when you guys come back below deck, slowly finishing off whatever food is left. So you know your time is slowly running out. After seeing how big this meal is, you know you don't have much time before you're gonna need to find more food. These guys are gonna
That is
eat this.
not a lot. That's horrible, like, survival tactics.
Well, these guys they're kids. They're not big on survival tactics. They're hungry, they eat.
Let's have a feast.
Yeah. Let's eat all the pizza pockets in one night. You guys join them for their feast?
Yeah.
No, Arog does. Aaron, do you join the feast? Do you eat?
Outside of the party, yeah, and I kind of dance a little bit.
Wanna fit in? Arog probably will drink the wine.
I definitely will.
Alright, Arog, you need to roll a fortitude save.
13.
That's just barely enough.
Yeah.
Luckily, this wasn't a strong dose you got. So you get a little loopy, but you don't take any dexterity damage at least. And you get drunk.
Woo!
Meanwhile, down in the prison cells on the bottom deck of the ship, Bakefo and Eriku, how much rest did you guys need?
Get a long ass nap. Unless someone wants to
Yeah.
wake me up, I'm asleep. I just need a
We're
really
past
long
the
nap.
Alright, so meanwhile, the two of you sleep this whole day while you guys are doing that. Eriku and Bakefo just take a nice long nap in their cells, because after the feast upstairs, I'm sure Arog and Karam will also need to rest. And the bunks right now are pretty packed. Some people are sharing bunks, some people are sleeping on the floor, so it's a little more crowded than it used to be. You guys might have to fight for a bunk or share a bunk with somebody. Definitely, if nothing else, you might have to bunk together, Arog and Karam.
Bunk it up, bunk it up.
We can cuddle.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep
I'm the
some
big
more.
spoon.
Yeah, I need to sleep some more.
Bakefo, do you continue resting, or do you want to look around?
Can I do the thing where you kind of like and like open your eyes and look around for a
And
second?
then pass
and go
back
to
out?
sleep?
Yeah, you can do that. You can roll one perception check just to like get the half awake, half
Make
asleep
sure-
look.
Oh, natural.
Alright, so you definitely wake up for a second, you open your eyes, you're still sort of dreaming. You open your eyes just long enough to see your friend Eriku there, passed out drooling, laying on top of her tiny arm. And also in the cell with you is Bridget. And Bridget's like waving at you, she's awake.
Can I like do one of those like
You sort of like half awake and then fall
yeah
back
like
asleep.
fingers out, half smile, and then I like pass back out.
Yeah. And you guys continue to sleep for how many hours do you guys want to sleep today?
10.
Same for you, Bakefo?
Yeah, I'm at least a 10. Yeah.
You guys can wake up and be in your cells. Eriku's still not feeling great, but he healed up some. But you're still feeling rough. You got beat up pretty bad by that gang of pirates. But you guys are locked up in a cell. It's a scene you're familiar with. At first, when you wake up, for a moment, for a second, you see the cells as they are. Only right upon waking do you realize you're in a cell. And then moments later, you think you're having a vacation, and it's you and Bridget and Bakefo, like, playing badminton. You think you're playing badminton together, and you guys are just, like standing in a cell together, like, waving your hands in the air at each other, but in your mind, you think you're playing badminton or polo or something, and you think everything's fine.
I'm gonna like backhand stroke Bridget's and then like I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna look at her for a minute and reminisce about being Bridget.
You run your hand down her face, past her dinosaur scars.
And then I hit the little wooden ball.
You guys keep playing up your imaginary games. So you guys are living it up in your spa resort.
I'm ecstatic, but I wish I had my own room.
Should ask for an upgrade next time the concierge comes around. No matter what, you don't realize you're in prison. Right now you just feel totally okay with where you're at. Whatever it is seems pleasant to you. Whatever would be pleasant for the three of you. And because you're in the same cell, you might have a shared hallucination.
Since I can make good berries, can I make berry frozen margarita mix?
Yeah, but all it's going to be is you're going to make good berries and like smash them up in your hand and you guys are just going to eat them. But in your mind, you're going to think it's a margarita mix. Yeah.
Yeah, is that cool?
That's cool with me, yeah. You're going to hallucinate it's a margarita, but you're just like smashing berries into each other's faces or whatever.
Exactly.
So if you want to feed Eriku some berries or eat some for yourself.
Do I have my feet on still?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is probably the closest to the beach day you guys think you've gotten. This is like your perfect beach day in your mind.
So relaxed. I've
Yeah.
never been this
Can you
unworried.
Triangle, please.
I deserve
It's
this.
finally happened.
The vacation that Eriku's always wanted.
We each get 2. Us 2.
All right.
You guys enjoy your margaritas.
The best margarita I ever had.
I giggle, flick Bridget's hair a little bit.
Alright, you guys continue your cruise vacation. Meanwhile, the next day, Arog and Karam wake up together in a bunk next to another guy who showed up in the middle of the night somehow is like on top of you guys now. So move him out of the way to get out of bed.
Fire life.
Yeah, pirate life.
I blush.
Okay.
And I wiggle out.
You have to roll me an escape artist check to get out from underneath this guy. Unless you want to roll diplomacy or intimidate when you wake him up.
An artist, girl. No, sorry. What the fuck? I got song fell. I got a 10.
I got a 14, so he's gonna wake up mad at you.
I poop.
You can poop.
I poop toward him, like.
Alright, Karam, roll for initiative with this guy when you wake him up. I got 21. All right, he's gonna go first. Arog, you're there. You can roll for initiative with him.
I rolled an 18. Initiative bonus is 3, so 21.
All right, so I think we tied. I'll let you have it.
Alright. I'm just gonna be like, hey man, I'm just trying to get out of this bed.
All right, is that diplomacy?
That's a natural 20.
He's gonna kind of grumble and roll back over, but he'll let you guys get out of bed without a fight. But you could tell he was like going for his weapon.
Look at him going for his weapon.
I always be grumpy in the morning after a big party. He'd be like, he's a little hungover too. Drink a lot of that snake blood, so he's just feeling a little weak right now.
Sorry man, I've been there.
So you guys are free to go about your day as you wish. Arog, of course, will at some point in time feel obligated to do some duties, but as long as you can convince him he's doing work for the ship, you can probably distract him. You do not re-dive, so you're on the surface. You want to go back to the top?
I would like to.
Before I go to the top, I want to go to
Get another look at her in the daytime.
All right, Arog, do you want to go with Karam down to the prison cells before you go up top, or do you just want to go up top
Sure.
before her? You guys go together to visit the prison cells. It's like always, you go down the hatch, there's one guard on duty, like right at the ladder area. All the cells are empty except for one, where you'll see Bakefo, Eriku, and Bridget having a good time together.
Feel like to both my arms up and I'm like really like got my legs kicked up.
Chilling.
So you guys can roll a perception check as Arog and Karam approach.
I'll walk up to the guard.
17.
28.
Alright, so Eriku won't notice because you're like got your eyes closed and you're really relaxed, so you might hear their voices, but you're not looking at them. Kepha will look over and see Arog and Karam talking to the concierge of your resort. They must have a problem with their room or something.
I'm on a mission for the captain to get food for later, but I need these prisons. They are the best.
I'm only allowed to give the key to 3 people. You're not one of them.
Alright, I'll be back.
Who are the
I'll
others?
go out to the,
First and second mate, and the navigator.
I'm gonna go talk to the navigator.
Alright, you guys go back up to top deck, approach the navigator. He still seems busy at work.
Pretty sure I'm gonna say, we're on an important mission and I need just a few moments of your time,
He
please.
says, I'm really busy. We're way off course, and I've got so much work to do. What do you need?
First question, where are we heading? Do you have a map?
Look, I just go where the captain tells me to go, and the captain doesn't really know where he's going. We're lost, alright? I'll be honest with you. I have no idea where we are. Why do you think I look so stressed? If the captain finds out I don't know where we are, he's gonna have my head.
Luckily, we're here to help you with
Yes,
that.
we're going to help, promise. Just have to bear with us. First, I need help from our friends that are in prison right now. They're going to help us find food and hunt for food. And I'm going to just tell you in what direction to go get them. Sail in that direction. Okay, I'll let the captain know all of this going on.
Diplomacy.
Not natural.
He says if you can get it clear with the captain, he's happy to go along with it.
Alright, I'll be back.
Oh wait, before I leave, I'm like, hey man, do you have any maps?
He laughs and gestures the table in front of him, which is stacked full of maps.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back to look at those later.
Go to the captain. Not bang.
Knock. You rap lightly and politely on the captain's door. Roll diplomacy and then tell me what you want to say as you knock.
Okay, I got 11.
Pretty early in the morning, the captain must still be asleep because he does not answer when you knock.
I take that as a little sign, and I leave briefly and go down to the galley.
Alright, you go down to the galley. Pretty quiet down there right now. A couple of guys cleaning up, but you don't see the head chef.
I approach one of them, and I know where the head chef is.
Asleep, probably.
Captain needs his breakfast.
Really? Oh, then I guess we better get him right away.
Yeah.
And they yell, someone call for the head chef! And they just yell. And then the yell just travels through the middle level of the ship, the second level. Everyone just yells for the head chef. Moments later, he'll come running. He's tying his apron on and he's in a big sweat. And you can tell he's kind of hungover and he's eyes are wide. And he's like, oh my god, the captain needs breakfast. Plate of pizza rolls at the end of the night kind of a guy.
We hope you're hungry for more. The other dungeon.
This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.